Welcome to CY92 Exploring Computer Science, the 2026 Rollout webinar for CTE admin and CIMCs. My name is Brent Kern, and I am an education consultant for the computer science team here at NCDPI. Before we dive into the content, I would like to talk about achieving educational excellence. This is North Carolina's strategic plan, and it sets a bold vision. By 2030, North Carolina will have the best public school system in the nation. That is an ambitious goal, and it requires us to think carefully about how students experiencing learning at every grade level, not just in high school, but earlier in their educational journey as well. This new middle grades course is one way we can contribute to that vision. It gives students earlier opportunities to explore interests, build future-ready skills, and make stronger connections between what they are learning now and where they may want to go next. To connect this course directly to the strategic plan, there are two pillars I want to highlight. The first is Pillar 1, prepare each student for their next phase in life. For middle grade students, that next phase includes high school, future coursework, career pathways, and eventually life beyond graduation. This course helps students begin that preparation earlier by building problem solving, collaboration, creativity, critical thinking, and career-connected skills. The second pillar, Pillar 6, leading transformative change. This course is not just about adding another elective or class option. It is about rethinking what meaningful middle grades learning can look like by introducing innovative, hands-on, future-focused learning earlier. We are helping So let's go over some course information, and this information can be found on the 2026-2027 Future Course Management System. With the upcoming school year, we will be using the new CTE Career Clusters and Pathways. This course is going to fall under Connecting and Supporting Success, Digital Technology and Computer Science, Middle Grades. Course description. So I've taken our course description, broken it out into its separate sentences, and highlighted some keywords that you can use to help distinguish what this course is about. So students are going to design and code interactive projects. They're going to solve real problems. They're going to express creative ideas. Students will analyze and visualize data to discover patterns and make informed decisions. Students will practice safe, responsible, and ethical technology use while collaborating and design inclusive digital solutions. And as with all CTE courses, students will gain knowledge, skills for careers, and we are within the Digital Technology and Computer Science Career Cluster. General information. So effective July the 1st, Michelle Pierce will be the lead consultant for this course. This course is launching in pilot status. Since it is middle grades, the proof of learning will be local. It also has 45 hours of instruction. The maximum recommended enrollment is 25, and it does not meet the computer science graduation requirement. However, it does meet the middle school elective offering. Course outcomes. Here are the course outcomes for this course. These are written at a 6th to 8th grade reading level so that your teachers can share them with their students and their parents so that students can take their own ownership of their learning. A good practice would be for your teachers to post these around the classroom and to share them on their newsletters and course websites. Course standards. Here are the standards for CY90, Exploring Computer Science. To better frame this course, I want us to think about the adopted course family. We have two parents. One is the CSTA, Computer Science Standards. The other is the North Carolina K-12 Computer Science Integration Standards. They have two kids. The older sibling is CS10, Introduction to Computer Science. The younger sibling is CY90, Exploring Computer Science. Best practices for both courses. Because these courses are based on national and North Carolina standards, the course meets those requirements. We give you the flexibility to pick and choose what works best for your students. We recommend that you use multiple sources and don't focus on one single product. Vendors who fill out a crosswalk will be posted to the CTE Resource Hub. Many of those will be free, but some may have a cost associated with them. Curriculum Guide. This document will be published to the CSIT Moodle in the upcoming days. It will also be available in the new CTE Resource Center under the Middle Grades Cluster grouping and Digital Technology and Computer Science Pathway page. CTSO alignment. All of our CTSOs are intracurricular, not co-curricular or after school. These events can be a direct replacement of course content. Within the curriculum guide, we have some general curriculum vendor information. This is for your teachers. So selected curricular and instructional resources should meet the following outcomes. Because teachers have the flexibility to pick and choose the curriculum that works best for their students, there is no required certification to teach CY90 Exploring Computer Science. But as always, teachers are encouraged to complete relevant professional development related to the very topics that they will cover, such as computer science instruction, cybersecurity, data analysis, programming tools, artificial intelligence, accessibility, and responsible technology use before they implement this course in the classroom. Then we get to the real meat and potatoes of the curriculum guide. We have 4 course outcomes. These are student and parent facing, the most important things students will learn and build skills for. There are 21 essential questions, or about 4 to 5 per standard in this course. There are 21 major pieces of unpacked content, about 4 to 5 per standard in this course. We have 5 teacher briefs, 1 for each standard, with about 5 to 6 paragraphs of guidance aimed at helping teachers maintain an exploratory and appropriate instructional focus for middle grade students. We have 101 key terms, about 20 to 21 per standard. These define the specific vocabulary and concepts aligned to the unpacked content for the attainment of the course objectives. We have 51 unique instructional resources across 5 standards. These provide teachers assistance in creating activities and assessments with their lesson planning. So I've picked an example standard where we can explore the curriculum guide components. I chose standard 3, remember the importance of cybersecurity. because often this is viewed as a difficult or kind of a scary topic that teachers must cover. So if I'm a teacher, I see that the standard is 15% of the course weight. I would take my course time, divide that by 15%, and then I now know pacing wise, this is roughly how many days I should spend teaching this. I also see that it is a B1, that is remember conceptual. That's going to give me my RBT designation so that I would know appropriately how to build my lesson plans for this. So here are the essential questions for this standard, and I see that my first one is, what is cybersecurity and why is that important? So a best practice, if I was helping assist a teacher, I would have them post this on their board and around their classroom. And as they're teaching throughout this standard, I would focus the students to these questions. As we cover topics, I would point back to different parts of the question, such as if we're going over a definition, I would point to the cybersecurity. And then as we go over some artifacts as to why it is important, I would also point the students back to that. So my first major piece of unpacked content is recall the purpose of cybersecurity. So I'm going to think of this as a big lesson plan or a mini unit that I would have to cover. It may take me one class period or multiple class periods to cover this, but it does break it down for me. So I see, first of all, cybersecurity as the protection of devices, accounts, networks, systems, and information. Then I see reasons cybersecurity is important, and that breaks those reasons down. And then I see some basic goals of cybersecurity, and I can also use that to build my lesson plans around. Teacher briefs. So the teacher briefs are intended to kind of help break down the course for a brand new teacher who has never taught this before. So it starts off with, as instruction is planned around the importance of cybersecurity, emphasis should be placed on helping middle grade students understand cybersecurity as a set of everyday practices used to protect devices, accounts, networks, systems, and information. Students should recognize that cybersecurity is not only a technical field for specialists, it also includes decisions that students make when using school devices, personal devices, online accounts, share files, messages, websites, and apps. Instruction should be connected cybersecurity to familiar contexts such as logging into school accounts, using their learning platforms, communicating online, downloading files, clicking links, joining games, storing photos, and protecting personal information. The teacher brief continues with, teachers should introduce the purpose of cybersecurity through practical examples rather than through fear-based instruction. So our teacher briefs are kind of a quick best practices or how the teacher should be thinking and how they should best serve their students as they are teaching these standards. Next, we have our key terms. So these are the essential vocabulary and definitions that I would use in my lessons. You know, I could use this to make some sort of activity or resource for my students. And last, we have our instructional resources, and instructional resources are there for the teachers to explore and build their lesson plans so they're not starting from scratch. So we have common sense education. I can click on that and I see that it's a topic and it gives me some information on privacy and security. I see that we have something from the CISA.gov. I can go there and learn more about this. And then I also see that we have some curricula here linked from cyber.org that I can use within my classroom. Since this course is launching in pilot status, we will have some pilot supports to support the field as this course is brand new. Third-party curriculum crosswalks. So similar to CS10, Introduction to Computer Science, once a curriculum partner submits a crosswalk, we will post that document to the CTE Resource Hub. With all of our courses launching in pilot status, we will have check-in meetings and surveys. We have put tentative on this because we do not yet know the firm dates for which those will happen across next school year. CSIT office hours. So this year we had office hours every Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. These are for teachers and CTE directors, CIMC, or just generally anyone who can drop in and ask questions about curriculum, ask questions about the computer science graduation requirement, or ask questions about anything computer science related. So we've put tentative on this because we don't exactly know if we're going to keep Tuesday afternoons going forward, but we will continue to have office hours within the new school year. We will now go into our question and answers portion. In general, if you do have any questions after this, you can email me, you can email Michelle, or if you don't know who to email, you can email this email address, csitt@dpi.nc.gov. And that's a good email to use because that'll go to everyone on our team. So if you're not sure who to ask the question to and you send it to there, the course lead will respond to you and everyone will be on the same page. We had one question asked, will cyber.org be on the Department of Information Technology or the Department of Public Instruction statewide contract list for third-party data integration? And the answer is no, not at this time. So right now, cyber.org is not expected to appear on the statewide DIT contract list or the DPI Master Service Agreement list because those processes are generally for paid products purchased with state funds. Cyber.org curriculum is free and hosted in Canvas with the intent that teachers can export materials into their own classroom or district LMS. One important note is that cyber.org range may still need local IT approval depending on your district policies. Cyber.org is funded through the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and DPI's Digital Learning and School Connectivity team is working toward making cyber.org available through NC EdCloud.